bit of a cold grey day. Not too much going on in the reserve so far, but we've come across quite a cool scene here. It's a brown snake eagle that has caught a snake. Just to clarify, I know a lot of people get this wrong. It's not an eagle that eats brown snakes. It's an eagle that eats snakes, and it is brown. I know there's brown snakes in Australia, king browns. Aussie kind of can get that mixed up. Good way to tell just quickly off the bat that a bird of prey has caught something is if it's sitting mid-canopy and not sitting on the outer fringes of the tree. Because when they've caught something, they want to protect it, they don't want a lot of attention, so they want to be hidden by the foliage. When they're hunting or they're looking for something to catch, they'll sit on the top of the tree. It gives them a better vantage point. And brown snake eagles in particular, they sit right on top. They've got a very erect posture, they've got a big head for their body size, so you can spot them from 2 kilometers away and immediately say what it is. This one now, what drew our attention to it is the fact that it's sitting in the canopy, and on closer inspection it has caught a snake which is dangling below the branch. We can't quite see what it is snake wise, but it doesn't look like it's got a very pronounced head or a taper into the tail, so our guess is it's some kind of blind snake. One of the reasons we say that is it rained quite heavily last night, and some of those snake species come out after the rain, so we're just sitting here waiting for it to start feeding. Okay, we've been sitting here for 30 minutes now and the snake hasn't fed yet, so we're exercising the greatest amount of patience. But oh, here we go, it's starting to lure. It's looking like it's going to, it's kind of dropping its head to peck at it. Let's have a look here. Still riding. Are you watching this in your binocs? What did you just watch? Okay, that was pretty impressive. That thing just devoured the snake like a sword swallower. I was pretty convinced it was going to pick it open and rip chunks of it. Just swallowed the whole thing in one go, and the snake was still alive. It was still writhing. That was insane. Okay, it's flat. Oh, hang on, it's landed on the ground again. Let's just have a look at what it's doing. Okay, wow, it's caught either another snake or the same, or the other half of the same snake. Hard to see, but it's doing exactly the same thing. It's a bit further away. We don't want to go closer because we'll scare it. This is unbelievable. Two sword swallows by a snake eagle in one go. It'd be interesting when it flies away. We'll go and have a look at that spot and see what was there, if there's any evidence left over. The eagle's finished the second snake and it's flown off into a tree in the distance, and this is the more typical brown snake eagle posture. Top of the tree, head erect, right up at the top, and you can tell from far away what it is. That's how we're used to seeing them. This is now where it was feeding, with the second snake on the ground, and we can actually, if we look closer here, there's some blood stains from the snake death. And there's some scratch marks from where the eagle was sitting. So I don't know what was happening here exactly. Maybe there's a little kind of hole out the side of the mound here. Maybe the snake was trying to burrow in to get some termites. I don't know. It's hard to work it out. If it was, it would have been very exposed on the side of the mound, and that's how the eagle would have seen it and swooped in to grab it. So a number of people ask if we see snakes here, and the answer is we don't often see them, mainly because of eagles like this. There are a lot of predators that'll eat snakes, so the snakes know to stay hidden, otherwise death from above is the order of the day. But that was very special. I don't think that's something I haven't seen before, a snake eagle devouring a snake like that. So we're down in the Sand River this morning with a young male lion with the remains of a warthog kill. Apparently he had it yesterday. Some of the guys saw him in this area yesterday evening. We didn't think he'd still be here in the morning, but he is, and there's a clan of probably 15 hyenas milling around the area. They've smelt the meat, and I think, from what it seems, is the pressure is just slowly mounting. So 15 hyenas can certainly take on one male lion, and what we're thinking might happen is that if they just kind of build up their courage through the morning, they press, he'll eventually just crack and run, and then they'll get the remains of the kill, although there isn't that much left, so I don't know if it's worth them exposing themselves to that kind of danger. I'm not sure which lion this is. He's young, his mane's a bit scraggly, haven't had a good look at his face yet. So I'm not going to make any assumptions yet, because I usually get it wrong. One thing we can say is he's non-territorial. This is where the Ottawa male is usually found. The Birmingham males are further east. This is not one of any of those lions. This is a young male. His mane's not fully formed. He's got a lot of scars, so we can see he's been in a couple of fights. So most likely it's an independent young male, non-territorial, and he'll be nomadic and fairly itinerant. So I don't think he'll be in the area for too long. But let's just sit here and see what happens. I think he's probably going to lose this kill to these hyenas. So the lion's now taken the warthog into a thicket, slightly deeper into the river. Hyenas are coming sniffing around to see if there are any scraps left, but I don't think they're going to get much. That was a big warthog, so no wonder there was still meat left this morning, although not a lot. But now that lion's in a thicket, I don't think we can access. We'll give it a go, but might not work. Hyenas are going to be unlucky, and I think part of the reason they haven't taken it is just a male lion is a frightening prospect for them to take on. The hyenas find it far more beneficial to challenge leopards and steal their kills. I don't think the danger wasn't worth it for such a small bit of meat. If it was a buffalo kill and there was only one lion on it, maybe they would have taken him on, but having a look at the carcass now, it wasn't really enough for them to risk life and limb taking on a male lion. Let's just get some footage here, and then we'll try again and see if we can get a view of the lion again. So the lion's dragged the kill into this thicket behind us over here. Very, very dense and no access for the vehicle. We might be able to barge our way in there, but we're not going to see him until we're pretty much on top of him. We don't want to spook him. A couple of hyenas have disappeared in there, but it's also pretty dangerous for them following him in there. So I think our best bet, unfortunately, is to leave him be. As soon as he moved, the hyenas did start pressuring in again, but yeah, I think having looked around, quite a few of them have drifted off. So he may well hang on to those last scraps. And I don't think we're going to see him again, but yeah, fascinating morning. Amazing to have him coming right past us like that, dragging a kill. That was a big warthog. So that looked like either the sticks of the Nkuhuma young male. I'm not 100% sure. No, it's a young coalition we've seen a couple of times in the last few months, but we'll have to go back and check the footage on the computer. So let's go do that and leave him to enjoy the rest of his meal. I've come to one of the local waterholes this morning, just in time hopefully to see an impala herd having a drink, but they are very, very nervous. You can't blame them. It's a windy morning, which means it's difficult to hear things, it's difficult to see things because the bushes are all moving, smells get confused, and they're kind of hemmed in between the thicket line and the water. The thicket line contains unknown dangers, maybe leopards, there were lions here yesterday, and there's a crocodile in the water, so windy conditions make for very, very nervous herbivores. So they're taking their time coming to drink, because understandably when they put their heads down they're very vulnerable, their awareness is immediately lowered, and they might not even come in now, they might just wait for a little while and build up their courage, but let's see what happens. These impalas are fairly wise. I suppose you don't reach adulthood as a tasty antelope out here unless you learn fast. So they've kind of slunk off around the corner to a very shallow section where the croc can't get to him. He or she is just watching helplessly, blocked by a bank of water weeds. And once one impala has gone to drink, as long as nothing disturbs them, the rest will all usually funnel through quite quickly to that same spot and grab a drink. Now they've got some water, maybe not all of them, but the ones who wanted to have, and they were filtering off into the thickets. Kirst has found a female leopard about 1 kilometer down the road, so let's go and have a look there and see who it is. I'm not too sure yet, just judging by the territory. It's probably Clark Rock female, but we'll know when we get there. Let's go have a look there. Apparently it is the Clark Rock female. She's moving through a very dense area, so Kirst has said she's climbing a lot of trees. So, oh, there she is. Okay, she's just up ahead of us. Hang on a second here. Well, young female leopards are great to spend time with because they are highly energetic. They're small, so they don't mind going up and down trees. It's not as costly in terms of energy because they don't have a lot of weight to get up and down. And these are the conditions that those impala we saw earlier at the waterhole are stressing about. So, okay, she's just up ahead of us here. It's windy. Cover's good, bushes are moving, camouflage is effective even if she's moving. So we're going to stick with her. She's in hunting mode. She doesn't look like she's very full. If she had a kill, she'd probably be anchored by it and she'd be close to it. And these are very good hunting conditions, even though it's daylight. Still a good chance we should be able to have an effective stalk. So you're probably going to find that on a day like today where it's windy and it's fairly dangerous for prey species, impalas are going to avoid thickets like this. So she's unlikely to find one of them in here unless one of them has made a grave error of judgment. She's going to be after small things like duikers and scrub hares and little animals that will be taking shelter from the wind. You've seen her up a couple of marula trees and on a termite mound. Because she can't see very far either, she'll try to get a vantage point every now and again just so she can scan up ahead and see if there is something she can go after. Oh, she's just bumped into some rhino. This could be amazing. she's no threat to the rhino. They're far too big for her, but they still recognize the fact that she's a predator, although they're not going to be too concerned. They'd be a little bit more worried if it was a pride of lions walking past, but she's just given them the go-by. She's moving off through the thickets. I think we're getting to a point of diminishing returns. We don't want to accidentally scare anything that she might want to hunt, and she's about to disappear into another dense thicket line that I think is going to be very unproductive in terms of filming. We're just going to see the odd tail tip. So yeah, in the interest of sensitivity, letting her get on with her day, we're going to leave her be.